Hi guys, welcome back, Cal Clash Fitness. Now today we're going to be talking about and reviewing the Skins A400 men's long sleeve compression top. Okay, so it's this one that I'm wearing now. I've just been out, just blasted a hard 5k in it, feel fantastic, nice and hilly 5k, and feeling really good, to be honest with you, after wearing this. Now I've had this top for around 6 months, done a lot of miles in it, and I've done a lot of miles in it in various different weather conditions, okay? So being in the UK over a 6-month period, you get a multitude of weather conditions, right? So it started off in the summer, it's now winter, I've had wind, rain, heat, cold, all the rest of it, okay? So this is going to be a no nonsense, no bullshit review as per usual, just to let you know whether this top is worth your hard earned money, okay? So we'll start with the claims. Compression gear increases oxygen flow and all the rest of it to your muscles to help you work out for longer and work out faster and harder and all the rest of it. Is this true? Is there any truth in it? It's very difficult to say. Okay, in terms of does my upper body feel more energized and things like that after wearing it? I guess maybe it does, but it's very difficult to pinpoint whether that's psychological or not. You know, it could be a placebo effect. You know, but you know, it does feel incredibly comfortable when you're out running. Whether or not there's more oxygen in my muscles, that's pretty much near on impossible to say. And in terms of actual performance, whether I run faster in this or in just a normal running vest, very difficult to say. Okay, so if you're expecting to buy this top, spend a lot of money on it, and all of a sudden your running times go through the roof, and you know you're Linford Christie out there or something like that, you're flying, that's not going to happen. Okay, so you need to set your expectations quite realistic. All right, having said that, I carry a little bit more muscle than most runners. Okay, so I'm no John Paul Sigmarsson or Jesse Marunde or anything like that. Those two guys are legends in the sport of strongman. I suggest going to Google those guys if you don't know them. But I do carry a lot of muscle for a runner. Okay, so what that means is if I'm running about, especially if I'm doing a hard run, a fast run, okay, I'm jangling about. You know, there's a lot of movement normally if I'm not wearing something like this, something compact and tight. Okay, and what the Skins does very nicely is holds everything in place. Right, so when I'm running, if I'm smashing up a hill or smashing down a hill at full speed, okay, everything is being held into place nicely. Right, obviously a lot of that comes down to technique as well. However, there's always going to be a lot of movement, a lot of jarring, no matter how good your technique. And I feel the Skins really does hold everything in place, makes it a lot more comfortable, and I do feel that just having that comfort factor, again whether it's psychological or not, does help when you're out there. Okay, in terms of comfort, fantastic. I'll always run in some sort of compression gear, okay, because I absolutely hate chafing. So whether I'm out for a 5k or a 30-mile run, I'll always go for some sort of compression gear. Skins is obviously on the high end of that. I notice a small uplift in sort of performance and comfort when going for the Skins, as opposed to something a little bit cheaper like your Nike Pro Combat or your Under Armours. So I do feel a little bit more comfortable in the Skins. Do I feel sort of £30 more comfortable or $30 more comfortable than in the Skins or in the Nike Pro Combat or a cheaper compression? Probably not, but again, it could come down to that psychological factor. I do feel good while wearing this top. Okay, they advertise that it's sort of a very cool material. You've got your air vents under your arms and all that sort of thing. But to be honest, I find this top is quite hot, to be honest with you. Like I say, I've run in relative heat and I've overheated very quickly in this. I don't feel that you cool down very quickly in this at all. It's also black, so it absorbs the sunlight. And even on cold days when I'm out running, I do feel like I'm getting quite hot in this top. So I would say it's more suitable for the cold. However, again, it depends also on speed. So if you're out there smashing it, your body's going to get very hot very quickly. If you're out there for more of a leisurely jog, then I'd say that you're probably going to not feel the heat as much. But for me, to be honest, it's no thermal top, but I would not say that this is suitable for sort of warm, sunny days. Okay, so you want to find the balance between freezing and sort of warm days. So somewhere in the middle. If it's a hot day, I always just like to wear a vest and like to get as much skin on much sun on my skin as possible, to be honest, with the vitamin D. So, in summary, Whether or not there's massive improvements in performance and things like that, I don't know. It's very difficult to say. No one could go out there and tell you there's definite improvement. You know, everyone has scientific claims behind their products, but anyone can prove anything if you throw enough money at the research, and the research is funded by yourself. Okay, so I wouldn't put too much stock in that. I do feel very comfortable in the skins. They are my favourite garments to wear. I'll always reach for a pair of skins if I've got some handy. They're very comfortable, they hold me in place. I do feel like there is some benefit to the compression. Again, you have to make your own mind up about that. But for me, this top, the A400, definitely would recommend. I love it, love running in it if the conditions are correct. If it's hot though, as I say, I'm not going to reach for this top. So if you live in warmer climates, if you're lucky enough to live in Australia or somewhere warm, sort of in Europe or in America, probably not for you. I'd reach for a vest. But I would recommend this top for anyone that sort of runs in warm / cool conditions. Okay, so as usual, please subscribe down below if you like what you see. Leave me a comment, let me know what you want to see next or more of. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep it rolling.